We've talked an awful lot, far too much, in fact, about gun violence in the city and how things seem to be getting worse. Again, another story just the other day. Again, someone being shot in the city. So Montreal's official opposition wants the city and obviously wants the police to work harder. And their idea is to create something called a web patrol to tackle online violence among young adults, because that's where most of these crimes seem to be happening. And that's the demo. The announcement was made Wednesday in a conference, and we wanted to find out more. So WIDMARCK EVRARD is an NSK spokesperson. He's on the line right now. WIDMARCK, thanks for being with us this afternoon. Can you explain for people listening who don't really know what this is about, when you say web patrol, what are you talking about?
Yes, good afternoon. I'm glad to be here today and to represent NSK. So when we talk about web control security, what we mean is that there's a lot of teenagers, or even some adults too, they get into a situation where they get violently involved in arguments, and then sometimes it also comes out to be a physical violence as well. So what we're asking is that if we can have the police involved in more of these conversations, because the life of our children is involved in it, or even adults, because if you look at it now, Montreal, when I first came to Montreal, it wasn't like that. But nowadays, there's so much violence, I think I'm living in the States again. And what we would need more security, more police officers that they can be watching, or if they can have hire other people to watch for them as a surveillance, and that who can report certain activities that's going on, to check up on what's going on. Some people, they take pictures with guns and so on, so forth, and they be threatening one another, and I've seen it happen a lot. So this is what we mean about I know it's not going to stop the violence, but it can assist at me.
Do you feel like Montreal police have let Montreal youth down in this regard?
Well, Montreal police, honestly, I had few bad experiences with the police. I'm not saying they're all like that. Some of them are very kind. Some of them, they're also human beings. They can be fair, they can be unfair. But some of them, I find them, they're very lazy. Some of them I can find they're very workaholic. They'll do their best and put their all out there. Mm-hmm. And give us provide us with securities that we need. The experience I had with the police, it was one time they were forcing one of my exes I was dating back then. They wanted to force her to put charges on me for something I did not do, and she did not do it. So that was a pressure like I did not appreciate they was trying to do. But I moved on. I forgive them, but other than that, some of them, I see they're very kind. They'll help you out, and they'll be there for you. But they still do what is right. But at this time, I don't know what the police are really doing. I mean, if they need more staff, they should hire more staff.
Well, is that a problem? Because when you say they still do what's right, I mean, we're expecting them to do what's right. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure how that's a problem. Do you think it's about understaffing from what you're seeing, what you're hearing?
Well, I really think it's understaffing. I think they can hire private investigators, and if they can get maybe more money to get more people involved, and so they can watch the social medias of what's going on, and also if they can have more patrols, because there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of crime lately that's going on around, and they're always in the same area. I'm asking myself, mm-hmm. Are the neighbors asking themselves, too, what is going on? Are they safe or not? Are their kids are safe or not? So it's been happening since after COVID, when we take out our masks and everything. That's when all these things start taking place day by day.
So we know that the federal minister was in town announcing all kinds of money. I think it was like $42 million, mm-hmm. right, over 5 years for safer spaces in communities. That's obviously a step in the right direction. You're kind of giving me the impression that's not enough of a step.
I mean, it is a good step that's moving forward. But, I think they can do a little bit more. I think they can, because what I believe, I'm a hardworking person. If you want to do something, you can do it instead of saying things, but you're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But me, I would rather them to do it physically and also react on it. It's taking too much time to react and get a result from certain things they said. I'm not against them. I really appreciate what they're doing, but right now we need security. When I came to Montreal, I believe it was the safest city. I loved it. I still love it. Don't get me wrong. It's just I feel like I'm living in Toronto. I feel like I'm back in the States. So this is what's going on nowadays.
Wow, so, that's quite an indictment of Toronto, though, right?
Yes. In Toronto, I went to Toronto for 6 months, and I had a problem with the city because there was always shooting. So that's the reason why I left.
Yeah.
And the States is another reason why I left. And if it's going on like that again in Montreal, who knows? I might leave too.
So Ensemble Montréal wants the city to have this web patrol. They want the police to form this web patrol. The idea must be here, I guess, that the violence starts online and then ends up happening in real life, as you were alluding to. What kind of work does NSK do, and will you be part of this web patrol?
Yeah, so I would love to be part of this web control. They don't really see my face. I mean, it doesn't really matter where. But from my understanding, what we do in NSK, what I do in NSK.
When you say they don't, sorry to interrupt, but when you say they don't really see your face, do you mean because you're doing work behind the scenes, or do you feel like you're not seen?
Yes, I do work behind the scenes. I'm not always like you'll see my face on the page or whatever. I appear sometimes. So what I do, yes, I do stay on the website. I be looking at what's going on. People showing that this is another problem too. When they're showing money and you don't know what other people's attention. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but others' attention, because if you tempting men, they will go for it. Because especially money is on the line. If we can take all these things off the social media or in the nakedness, like if you look at the crime of women as well, is going up. The sexual assault whatsoever is going up. All these things are going up. It's because don't get me wrong, I'm not against what they do. It's just what they're doing. If the police can help with that, I think we'll have more security. In NSK, I'm there to help. What we do with the kids is we're trying to get them off the street. We get them with activities like paint. We're trying to put them into sports. We do soccer with them. And now we have a plan to move forward with boxing with them, and with all that, we're not even being funded by the government. We're being funded by ourselves. We put our money together. We say, okay, if we can help them out, our plan, our goal is to get them somewhere in life, change their mind, change their way of living, so we can have a better future, so they can have a better future. That's what we're trying to do with them.
Excellent.
Yeah, well, look, good luck. I think everyone would agree that's clearly the mission here, right? That's what needs to be done. We don't want to keep hearing these stories, as you said. We don't want to ever have to compare ourselves to Toronto because we know how bad the situation is there, as you just pointed out now. Listen, we want to thank you for being with us this afternoon. Wish you good luck in all this. And I know the city is taking it seriously, so hopefully there'll be some good news to report sooner rather than later. Thanks so much for the time.
You're very welcome. Thank you as well for inviting me.
Yeah, WIDMARCK EVRARD and this idea of web patrols to try to help cut down on gun crime, violence in general in some of these parts of the city.
Particularly among youth.
Yeah.